you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Alliance Forever. Today is another installment of Journey to 1000. Today I am in the north as the Stitch Blue player of the UEF Persuasion. I am currently at 293 ranking, and we're going to go down south and introduce our opponent of the Destroyer 22. He's going Cybran First Land and Ruby Red at 147 rating. Why, hello again, and hello there as well. I played with him just the match before, and I lost to him, so this is a rematch here for myself. In terms of the reclaim currently still on the map, it is not a lot. It's only about 2,200, but for two players, that's 1,000 each, so that's actually a decent amount of mass divided evenly. And of course, for the mass point layouts, kind of hard to see because it is kind of bright, but there's of course the normal amount of mexes per player. There's 4 mexes around these little mountain sections, a couple of mexes over here, and a couple of mexes kind of on the edge. And honestly, just given the fact that I have full vision on this map versus playing it myself, this is how I look. This was a lot better to look at, to be fair. Just it's because it's so bright, and I don't know why. So I'm currently going to, of course, assist the hydrocarbon. I, of course, did my first land. I have engineers going in all different directions. All I have doing is I have a move order being put to the direction I want the engineer to go in. So this engineer is going to go here and then here. And then this engineer, I think he goes to reclaim. And then this engineer goes on the western side. And then, of course, I move to the middle. I've played a few matches before this and got my butt creamed as well, which is why one of the reasons my rating is lower. A lot of players, at least in terms of this rating, just go for it. They just go straight for the middle. You can see exactly what the Destroyer 22 is doing. He's doing the exact same thing and is going straight to the middle. I've noticed a lot of people just rush a lot of T1 tanks, whether that be Mantis and strikers and whatnot, and just charge the enemy and just call it good. And usually I'm used to kind of a little bit of a slow build up, and I have to get my brain used to the fact that I can't just sit in base and eco. I have to go out, which I usually send my comm out, but it's usually just, oh, now let me just sit here, kind of build up a couple of facilities, pump out a couple of tanks, and call it good. What I do like what he is doing in the south is he's actually sending a couple of tanks with the engineers as well. There's actually an engineer over here. He's just going to park it right here. So this is the vision he can see off of this thing. And it's almost the entire, we'll inch it a little bit over, but it's the entire avenue of attack. So if he's attacked, he'll know because that that Mantis will die. And I have the unfortunate habit of not looking at my minimap half the time, which I also need to get better at doing. Maybe I should just put it on a second monitor. I think I know how to do that. Let me know down in the comments if you know off the top of your head how to have your minimap as your second monitor. And also just roast me in the comments. Just rip me apart in terms of build order, in terms of strategy. I just want to be picked apart. I'm mostly going to just comment about what I'm doing, what I'm thinking about. And I will include at the end of my video my actual gameplay. So if you want to see it from just my perspective, I'm not narrating, I'm not talking, it's just quiet. You'll hear, I think, the sounds of the game, the cannons firing and all of that, and, calm under attack. But you won't hear any of my conversation or my, complaining to myself, essentially. I did try to fan out for some T1 mexes just to get my ego up and running. So far, I'm at 14. He's at 11. But he does have more attack power out than I do. He has a couple of Medusa and a couple of Mantis. Looks like he's building up some sort of raiding party here to go after my mexes and units on the west-hand side. I have a radar up online immediately because also the radar, especially for 1v1 maps, it's about a third of the map. And then if you get it to T2, it's essentially the entire map. This is a 10 by... It's a 10 by 10, which is surprising because it's a lot of room for only 2 players. Usually it's a 5v5, a little bit more tight. And also, of course, a lot of the map is cut off by these high rises, these mountain, cliff edge, whatever you want to call these things. So we'll see, just a lot of the map is gone, and you can't really do a whole lot with it. You do see I'm kind of just sitting here, kind of just raiding a little bit. He was building a T1 autogun. Of course, I saw him building something, and it's a square icon versus a diagonal icon, a diamond icon, so I knew it was a structure of some sort. So I was like, maybe it's a radar, maybe it's a T1 PD something. I do start some reclaim orders. And again, as you notice in the west, he gets another PD in the west. I probably should... Rude. I didn't even notice he said that. I kind of like have tunnel vision when I play. I don't think about half the things that I do, but I didn't notice he said rude. Oh, that's even funny. The Destroyer 22, if you're watching this video, I'm sorry I didn't respond. That is awesome. Did not notice that. Sorry, but stop telling me about your build order. I do appreciate it, but I don't want to know it on my menu, on my screen. Yeah, just me raging against the machine, against the stupid visual glitch. You know, I have some engineers just reclaiming. There's not a lot of mass over here, but, it's something. There actually is more mass in the middle. We do see I'm using the T1 artillery to go after his T1 PD, and he's going to send his comm out and say, hey, stop doing that. And I'm like, I'm just going to fire into you. Of course, I have a slight advantage playing UEF in the sense that I have 12,000 hit points on my comm versus 10,000 on his. So he drops below 9. I'm still above 9. So if we were to, murder-suicide situation, we both die. He kills off my units because I can't get the move order. He does kill off that other artillery. I do not get the move order quick enough. He does get another facility in the west, which I only have my 2 facilities. I also have this one upgraded to T2 because I also noticed that some players, not all players, but some players just almost rapid. Like they go T1, they build out a couple of tanks, and then they just go straight to T2. He's pumping out a lot of facilities, which is good because then you can just rapidly produce T1 tanks. And I'm more focused on the tech, which I need to do a little bit of both. And of course, I do my line of P-gens because why not? This match is not very long. I keep stuttering for some reason. And you'll probably notice by the time code, it's probably about 34 minutes is probably what it's actually going to be. Obviously, I'm doing the casting as, I don't know the exact time it's going to take, but it's about roughly exactly the time that it says. There's going to be no slowdown, of course, because there's no, a lot of introductions or a lot of stuff going on. It slows down the sim speed. It's 1v1. It should pretty much always be the same speed, doesn't slow down. You see the artillery here, and what I did notice is that he's going to sit here and repair this. So he's losing 6 mass a second and 40 energy a second. You can take a look at his eco. He has barely enough mass to do stuff, and he does have enough power versus my eco, which is I'm barely spending my energy and my mass, and I still have positive power. Of course, this is what I can see. And what I do like about the UEF is when the Lobos shoot, it actually gives a little bit of vision to see what's going on. I actually didn't even notice that till I played, as I didn't play it and use these. I don't really know. I kind of get a lot of tunnel vision. I need to stop doing that. But it is just, I kind of get, I almost psych myself out sometimes, and I just focus on way too many things. And, I haven't played in a little bit just because of the holidays and work and all that stuff. And so I'm a little bit rusty. That's why I lost. That's not one of the reasons, but that is one of the reasons why I lost, but it's not the only reason. Just was outplayed in some scenarios. Anyway, we have, of course, my comm being healed up, just assisting. And we do see he is going to charge forth with 6 of those Medusa, and unfortunately for him, those Medusa are going to take 2 shots to kill. And I'm just going to get a nice amount of efficiency. I'm already almost halfway up to my first star. We do see a nice group of units to the west here for him. And unfortunately, you kind of know if I keep mentioning this, something's probably going to happen, and it does happen. I do get a couple of T2 engineers on station to be able to assist with my efforts in going for just units, whatever the case may be. Then I decided to just build a P-gen right here. I don't know why I just didn't build it here, back in my base where it was protected, but didn't do that. I also like what he's doing over here. He's just sending one lone mantis out to see what's going on. And again, I get tunnel vision a lot. Like, it's very, very bad. I don't know what it is about this game. I used to play first-person shooters a lot, like COD and Halo. I played a little bit of Battlefield, not that much. It's usually COD and Halo. And I do decently well in those games, but I think because there's not a lot going on, it's, oh, enemies over there, shoot them. Oh, enemies over there, shoot them. I do notice that in storage, I have, no mass, and the Destroyer has some mass. Reclaim, I'm at 400. He's at 83, so he's not reclaiming as much. We do see he does get a T1 radar online, and now I just have a couple of these a couple of these Lobos being a little cheeky and just being like, hey, what is going on with my camera? There we go. just shooting over the edge there, just hanging out, just like, hey, guys can't see me. And then I move forward to attack something else to get, you know, just some more units killed. And one of the artillery does die, but I do take out the radar, which is important because now this is all he can see. Obviously, he knows I'm here. And now here's that attack in the north. He is being a little cheeky with his little mantis in the north as well. And I'm like, oh no. You should see here pretty soon I start, should we start spamming out some pillars as well. I'm just constantly producing engineers to go for my T2P gen, which is from T1 Mantis. I love the rating coming from him. He did a very good job in that regard. I'm still outproducing him in terms of mass per second, but I think it's somewhat due to I have no power because I'm upgrading my comm as we speak, and I'm almost done. There we go. That gun is now online. Took 25 seconds. That was actually pretty quick for me, of course. And we have some pillars and some strikers. So T2 and T1 tanks just trying to be hurriedly just thrown against the opponent. I should have just done T1 Mantis, not Mantis, but bot spam with those, what were they called again? They are called, they're Mech Marines, those Mech Marines. Just spam those out, but I wanted something a little bit more hardy, a little more beefy. He doesn't take out any of my mexes. He only takes out my units, so it's just not micro-ing as much as he probably could have in focusing at least the mexes. Two of them have gone T2, two of them have not. He could have gotten at least 2 T1 mexes. But that attack fizzles out, and now the main attack goes, I am in danger, so I'm going, I am out of here. See ya later. You can see I'm just kind of like, get me out of here. I'm being swarmed here. Swarm. Swarm. So I'm retreating as we speak. And then I'm like, oh, I have engineers over here because I moved them away. And I'm going to hurriedly build some T1 PD to assist in my defense. I'm at 1 star of entrancy so far. I'm about halfway to my second one. He now starts to move his comm. I have radar been knocked out, so it's good on him for targeting that as well. It was T2 as well. I saw a lot of the map. And then we have facilities going down. His artillery is wrecking shop. He should have just kept his artillery back and had them thrown against the facilities and knocked them out. He did walk over here. I don't know where he was going over here, but he can go over here. Now, he doesn't have hardly any veterancy. Doesn't have gun. Doesn't have anything. Just a bog standard, just normal Cybran commander. And now that I've dealt with that attack in the west, I'm starting to spam out more and more of those pillars. I do stop for a little bit because I'm obviously dealing with this. I'm struggling with my mass and struggling with whatnot. I'm still beating him in terms of generating mass per second. He still hasn't gotten any T2 mexes so far. He's only gone T1, but he does have more mexes in general than I do. But of course he has, I have more upgraded mexes, so 6 versus 2 for every 3 of them. Count as 1 for mine. There are a couple units sent to the east just to kind of go after whatever was over here. And I am in the yellow. I only have 1 upgrade, which is the Zeph amp. I have 1 veterancy, and I go, I'm going to go after these Mantis that are just sitting over here. And they do fall back. There is another radar online, so he can see what's going on, of course. I do not have a... do I have a radar yet? I do have a radar, so I can see some of what he said. I wanted to have it a little bit further back. That's another thing I've realized is I like to put the radar up front, which is nice to see. I should have a backup radar and upgrade that to T2, so that way if I lose the radar... I keep telling it and saying it in cast that backups are important. I don't take my own advice for some reason. I don't know why. I'm just bad. I'm decent at giving advice. I'm really bad at taking advice. We do see I'm kind of just taking some pot shots here, being like, hey, I'm over here. Hey, how's it going? Hey, you should come over here. You can see, of course, he's at 1,000. I am at 14.4K. So, 4,000 more hit points than he does. And I'm like, I'm just going to sit here, see what's going on. I'm going to go after this little land factory over here. He's going to start shooting into me. I'm like, I probably should retreat because I do see those Mantis or whatever those units are. Like, I'm just going to get out of dodge here. Now my comm's going to go after that. I don't know what the command is to, like, because I know I see it sometimes, target priority. I don't know if that's a hotkey or a mod. I don't know what it is exactly. I know it exists. I know it's a thing. I need to get it, especially in these scenarios where I want to target the Mantis, but my comm keeps targeting the other comm. But he drops into the yellow. Of course, every shot he takes is 200 hit points. Every shot that I take is 100 hit points. And I go, that's his attack range, right? Because he has no gun. And this is my attack range. And I'm in range, and I'm just going to sit here and shoot him in the back. And he is dropping, of course, every shot I hit has 200 hit points. I need to also get a one in e-storage online so I can get overcharges, which would have made this process a little bit better. But I will throw some Mantis to assist and try to catch up with that Calm. Unfortunately, I'm not. He's halfway to his burst veterancy, but unfortunately for him, I'm still in range. He's still retreating, and he'll drop below, of course, 500, 200, and there he goes. I think I don't know if he got a veterancy there at the last second or not, but that is the game there. I've noticed that most, at least in my bracket, most 1v1 games are over before 20 minutes, or even sometimes 15 minutes. It just depends on if one player just builds and builds T1 tanks and just throws them. Because if you're not ready for all those T1 tanks, you are SOL. You're just, well, you're going to die now kind of thing. Nice little explosion there. But let me know down in the comments what you felt about the game. Of course, I'm still trying to learn more, not more of the basics, but it's a lot easier to play against AI than it is against a real human, because of course real human has an infinite amount of things they can do. AI kind of can do that, but they kind of have a rote, like I do this, then I do this, then I do this, then I do this kind of thing. If he does this, I do that. It's kind of very one-to-one, and I need to get better at kind of being like, oh, I have 10 different things going on. I need to manage all those 10 different things, but also focus on these 2 different things and all that stuff. There are maps that have hydrocarbons, and I'm like, oh, that's an easy, 100 energy per second. I keep finding myself constantly in need of more energy, because it just takes a bunch of energy to build structures. When is the best time to go for T1 P-gens after, if there's a hydrocarbon, when is it good after that? And obviously, is it good to just, even if there isn't a hydrocarbon, just have a couple of engines and just go build a line of T1 P-gens and call it good? Because I feel like more and more that's essentially what's happening, is I just need a bunch of T1 P-gens more and more as time goes on. So let me know down in the comments what you feel about my performance. Of course, just roast me in the comments. I want to hear them. I want to see them. I want to be like, oh, I should have done that better. You should have done that better, that kind of thing. Let me know. Of course, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button as well. This isn't my typical line of videos, but if you found it good enough to share it with everybody, because why not? And of course, let me know. He did build a T2 P-gen and was building a second one, so he was getting his way up in that regard, but should have gone for more T2 mechs a little bit earlier in my regard. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and now I'm going to transition to the actual my side of gameplay, and I will see all of you in the next one.